Hey, what's up, Street Gods? Eric from the Eric Street Photography blog. So, I want to share with you some practical ideas and tips and advice on traveling, the philosophy of traveling, and why travel. So, I've pretty much been on the road the last maybe 9 or 10 years, and I think a lot of us as photographers, we like to travel, and traveling is one of our passions, something we're interested in, but we never ask ourselves why travel. So I don't think that there's a right or wrong on why to travel, but I would actually recommend you to just think for yourself, why do you want to travel, or what are your personal goals, or whatever. So for myself, the reason I like to travel is that I actually feel that when I live in one place for too long, I get a little bit too comfortable, I become a little bit too complacent, and as a result, I actually become less creative. And when I say creative, I mean having novel ideas and producing interesting stuff. So for example, even living here in Saigon, it's opened up my mind so much because there's so much rapid development and economic growth happening here in Vietnam. It's kind of insane. Like, you can see all these storefronts here, like you got the Mom's Chickens back there and all these skyscrapers getting built. And so it kind of gives me more hope and optimism about the future. Whereas like when I'm living in the States, I mean, besides Silicon Valley and the Bay Area, everything seems a bit stagnant. So for me, the reason I like to travel, first and foremost, I like to be uncomfortable. So even when I'm traveling, I try not to keep myself all like super fancy and whatnot. I like to kind of keep myself, you know, traveling with less stuff than I usually like to and stuff like that. So I think another reason why a lot of us travel is that we want to make nice photos, which is totally legitimate. So my practical suggestion is, when it comes to traveling, it's not guaranteed you're going to make any good photos. So in basic, my keeper rate is, when I'm traveling, every 1,000 photos I shoot, I might make 1 or 2 good photos. So I think traveling and shooting photography, the biggest point isn't to make the world's best photos, because I made the wrong assumption that, oh, you know, once I travel, I can make so many good photos and then become the next Steve McCurry or Andre Cartier Bresson. But in reality, the biggest benefit of traveling, I think, is self-exploration. It's more about self-understanding. It's using photography as a way to essentially enjoy your trip more and to reflect on life more. So apologies for the loudness, because we're on the streets of Saigon and that's kind of a thing. So that's the second thing, is using travel photography as a chance for you to make good photos, but at the same time, it's more about building your confidence and being in a foreign place. And I would ultimately say the point of travel photography for myself as well is more of a chance to self-meditate. And I would also recommend practical tips. Travel with a laptop. Blog about your experiences while you're on the road. So start your own photography website and blog, bluehost.com, and install wordpress.org. And while you're traveling, bring along your laptop, like a MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, whatever, and share your experiences and share your life, because ultimately traveling isn't about learning about foreign cultures. It's kind of more about learning about yourself, who you are. And so things I learned is I prefer living nomadically. I don't like to live in one place for too long. I don't like too much comfort. Also, for me, I've discovered my basic needs are super simple. Just give me some eggs and some chicken, I'm pretty much good, and coffee, and give me a Wi-Fi connection. And for me also, I've been shooting more personal photos of my life journey with Cindy. I've also been photographing more of the friends and people that I meet. And yeah, I deleted my Instagram about like a year ago, and it's probably the best thing I've done for my creativity, because now it's not about getting a bunch of likes on photos. It's more about making photos which are personally meaningful to me. And I would also recommend the same thing with traveling is, once again, ask yourself, why do I travel? What do I want out of my travel photography when I'm on the road? So yeah, why do you travel? Just leave a comment below and say, I travel because da 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 da. Once again, there's no right or wrong answers. And yeah, so, but I'd still think ultimately travel and photography is a good thing, something that'll help you open up your mind, stir you creatively, and open up your heart. Peace out.